A reading out of the book The Pipe for Danny Shore. My chapter is The Tobacco Jar. The smoker who buys his ounce of tobacco, as he requires, has no actual need of a tobacco jar. Nevertheless, even in those circumstances, we are not against its adoption, even by those who, for one reason or another, find themselves mobile. We are not against it, because it possesses certain souvenir advantages. Tobacco in a jar keeps fresh while it matures, the jar playing much the same part in the maturing of tobacco as the barrel does in keeping of the wine. Within the tobacco decants itself, it becomes perfect. Osmosis exists between the two. The material of the jar acts on the tobacco, and by moistening the latter, some smokers are able to tell the nature of the jar which has been kept. This is indeed the domain of osmology. Keeping tobacco in a jar will not prevent the smoker from getting a fill for his pipe, or from replenishing his pouch before going for a walk. Moreover, he will get better smoke than if he just bought an ounce at the shop around the corner without any notion of its hygrometer condition, moisture condition, in other words. Before laying in their stock, some smokers place at the bottom of the jar a sliced carrot or potato in order to keep it fresh. Others put a piece of orange peel as being more fragrant, yet others sprinkle a few drops of rum or brandy on the tobacco when the jar is full. There is nothing to be said against any of these practices, and the matter must be left entirely to the smoker to do as he sees fit. In tobacco, as in anything else, it is purely a matter of taste that must guide us. It is for the smoker to obtain the maximum pleasure from his tobacco, and the tobacco jar will not fail to aid him in the quest. Tobacco jars are to be found made of the most diverse and even the most rare materials, some of which are admirably suited for the purpose. They range from sandstone to the delicate wood of a lemon tree, and can be iron, tin, silver, ivory, glass, horn, boxwood, birch, mahogany, cherry wood, etc. It is difficult to choose any one preference to another, but it may be taken as a rule that the simplest and most convenient, such as the stone jar, are the best. Many smokers use old grease pot, which they fill with tobacco and seal hermetically. The aroma, the quality of the mixture, depending on the receptacle, should be airtight. The most useful purpose of the tobacco jar is to preserve the contents from deterioration. Tobacco is very sensitive, not only to variations in temperature, but also to the slightest changes in its surrounding. It even absorbs the odor of anything in its vicinity. According to the neighborhood in which the jar lives, so must he take the appropriate measures. A stone jar has the advantages of being capacious and very strong. There is no mistake about it. It knows how to conserve and improve when entrusted to its care. One might amuse oneself profitably by concocting mixtures of tobacco from any of the brands upon the market. They are reputable tobaccos, will save the smoker the trouble of making up and keeping by him the recipe of any mixture he is liking. We once made a marvelous blend of coarse and fine cut, and a pinch of perique that was packed in a stone jar and sealed hermetically. By placing a rag soaked in rum under the lid and closing it down, the whole by a strong elastic band, as illustrated on page 82. It was left for an entire college term, not to be opened until the vacation. The great occasion was a wet summer's day. The memory of this glorious moment lingers yet. A symbol of what may be attained, it was what the pipe has been waiting for since the day of its making. It is in the light that we can look upon the tobacco jar as a prelude to filling one's pipe, a preliminary to a perfect smoke. What the jar exhales is to put a promise of what the pipe will fulfill. And that's the end of my chapter. Sorry, I'm not the most perfect reader. There's some words there I had to look up, and even Google couldn't pronounce them. So that's pretty bad, I guess, when you get that situation. But anyway, I hope this is Danny enjoys this, and I wish him well. And we're all praying for you. And there's no better community than the YTPC for what they have done and continue to do. And I'm proud to be a part of it. I'm proud to be asked to do this. And I thank everybody. Harriet Heffer, Sue Dunhill sent me a nice note. I bought the book, The Pipe. Mine's a paperback, interesting book. The foreword is by Wally Frank, who has his name on some custom builds. And it's definitely a worthwhile read. I got my copy off of actually Amazon. Mine's the paperback version. I see Simon got the hardback version. Some of the stuff is a little outdated, but it's still a worthwhile read. And I enjoyed it. And thank you everyone for watching. I appreciate it. And catch you on the next one.